the music.
Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto channel. We are live. It is, gosh, I don't even know what today is. Tuesday, maybe? Tuesday morning. Got me in the Farmer Joe outfit. At least I put a shirt on, sort of half a shirt on underneath today. I put a hat on too. I was wearing my old cowboy hat before I came on stream. I've been out working in the yard today, working on the homestead. Decided to come in and spend a little time with you fine people because I've missed you. And Bitcoin is pumping, guys. Pumping. How is everyone this morning? Who do we got in the house? Let's go take a look. We got Johnny number 5. What's up, brother? Salt Chain, hey. Hawkborn, good morning. Carrie Benz, long time no see, brother. Glad to have you back on stream, man. Max in the house, Mighty Max. What's up, guys? What's up? How are y'all? So Bitcoin's pumping today, guys. We're at 81.6. We've been hitting the copies today, guys. We've I don't even know. We've won over 20 in a row now. I know that. So we were rocking and rolling. Small wins, adding them up, guys. Let's see if we take this high right here. Let's take a look at this real quick. Then we're gonna jump into the TA. If we take this high real quick, gosh, they could blast through this high. Actually, got a little kind of a little ugly but inverse head and shoulders thing going on here on the 1 minute. I know it's a small time frame, but you guys can see that. Break that sucker. Look at all these highs, relatively equal highs. Let's watch this for a second. Zoom back out, look at those moons. How about the bull moon, guys? Bull moon playing out. Go to the daily, take a look at the moon. We talked about the moon last week when we got it. Look at that moon, bull moon. The last moon, the bear moon, was a flop. It looks like you moved down, but you really didn't. From the time you got the moon, the green candle here actually opened there. So it looks like you moved down because you had to move from here to there, but that wasn't. That was after a pump, after the moon. Really, the little bit of move down you got was less than 2%, and then it was a back up. So really a flop on that moon. The average moon, and just despite whether you believe in the hokey stuff or not, that doesn't matter to me. It's a statistical probability, and there is an edge. Like if you were to just blind trade the moon, short the new moon and long the bull moon, you would be profitable. The equity curve on that, if you put it in the strategy tester, is up and to the right. I want to say the stat was like 70%, something like that, winning trades. The average winning trade is about 7.5%. I do remember that. Let's see, I haven't even checked this. Let's see how much of a move up we've gotten since the moon, this bull moon. 7.15%. So we're right there on the historical average. Now, average is average. That means sometimes a little higher, sometimes a little less. But we're right there on what the historical average would be for a moon. Joe, good morning. Joe, Salt Chain, cut the music. I like that. It's become part of the repertoire. Yeah, I introduced that yesterday. Did y'all catch that? I'll play it again real quick.
Cut the music.
I put that at the end of the intro. I will give 100 USDT right now to anyone, the first person that can tell me who does that, whose voice is that. That's an old promo from like the 80s, 90s. Who does that? 100 USDT, first person. Anybody? There it is, Johnny number 5, Ravishing Rick Rude. That's it, bro. It is the Ravishing one. Ravishing Rick Rude. Yeah, Eon's Rick Rude. Yes, it is. Ravishing Rick Rude. WWE superstar back in the day. If you guys follow WWE, he is the greatest heel of all time. He did not care. The Ravishing Rick Rude. Cut the music.
Cut the music.
All right. I've got my MEXC, guys. I'm trading on MEXC right now. I'll flash that banner up top if you want to join MEXC. MEXCtrading.us, affiliate link below, or just go right here directly to the website. Type in your browser, MEXCtrading.us, and join. You can get, I think it's like up to $6,600 in free bonuses. Just by signing up and completing a few simple tasks. You got to do a few things. Yeah, they want you to share a link and they want you to complete a trade, stuff like that. Salt Chain's never heard of them. Guys, what is wrong with y'all? You've never heard of Rick Rude? Really? Oops, I can't even type. There he is. Look at this, man. Look at this. Yes. Look at Ravishing. Look at him. Look at that hair, guys. Look at that. Isn't that awesome? Now you can put a face to it. Listen, now listen to it again. And every time you hear it, I want you to picture this face right here. This one right here. I want you to picture that face. Every time. One more time.
Cut the music.
There he is. Cut the music. This guy's awesome. If y'all have never watched a clip of him, and he would cut the music, and then he would grab the mic, and he would tell everybody in the audience he was a heel, which means he was a bad guy. So he would say, what I would like right now is for all of you, and then he would criticize all the men of whatever town they were in. You know, if he was in like Cincinnati, all you Cincinnati sweat hogs to shut up while I take my robe off for all the ladies here. It was great. It was great. He was great. I'm telling you, he was great. Joe has that same outfit. Awesome, bro. I got to get that outfit. I'm going to be Rick Rude for Halloween. I'll be Rick Rude. There he is. This is what he would do. And then he would do this little hip thing where he would sway his hips and yeah, there he is. One more time and we're going to move on, guys. I swear.
Cut the music.
All right, we're going to move on. Enough fun. Enough fun for the day. We've had enough ravishing for the day. All right, Bitcoin moving up, guys. Red box. Let me turn the moons off. The moon has, I would say this is a winner. This is a winning moon. The red box, we took the red box trade yesterday. I did get stopped out of this trade. It was still a good trade. Listen, red boxes don't mean they're good every time. It's just like, I had to explain this to folks, which is cool. It's just like when you tap into the golden pocket or the point of control or a daily level, naked point of control, daily naked point of control, whatever it is. It is good the first time, okay? And then it mitigates it. What does that mean, it mitigates it? So when you have a box here, there's levels in this box. I don't turn all the levels on because I don't want my chart clutter, but there may be, I don't remember what was here, but let's just say there was a golden pocket there and there was a daily level there, maybe a daily naked point of control there. There are levels within this box. And just like if there was a 0.5 fib here, once you tap it the first time, you're probably going to break it the next time, right? You're probably going to break it because you grab the liquidity from it. There's liquidity above these levels because a lot of people put their stop losses and their liquidation points above these levels. So once you come and break it, you grab the liquidity, so there's nothing there to resist it next time you come up, right? Grab the liquidity there. Let's say that was a 0.5. Come back up to it, break right through it because the liquidity is gone. So now they're hunting the next level of liquidity. So when you tap into a red box, now there may be different levels of the red box, different areas. Like again, if this was a golden pocket, I don't remember, and maybe this was a daily level, you can grab that liquidity and then come down, then grab that liquidity and come down. But for the most part, when you get a good rejection, and what is a good rejection? I don't mean just like come into it and like that. That is not a good rejection. I mean, this is let's see, I think it was a 3% move. Yeah, 3%. That's a $2,500 move down on Bitcoin. That is 3%. That is a good rejection. Chances are this box is mitigated. Okay? Chances are the box is mitigated. Now it can hold again. You can just come up and maybe grab the high and then move down. But don't count on the box holding again. Sure it could. Again, it certainly can. You could come up, you didn't in this case, but you could have come up, formed some bearish divergence, swept the high one more time, and then moved down. But the levels inside the box are mitigated. So these boxes are only good for the first trade, the first time price comes into there, okay? If it's good, again, it's just coincidence, okay? So we did take this trade, 3%. I did close it pretty dang near the bottom, or I took a heavy profit there, and then I actually got stopped out at break even. But I made over $2,000 on the trade. I took 2 trades here, 3 trades actually. I took a copy trade, I took a scalp trade, a copy trade, and a day trade. I closed the copy pretty quick for a profit. I closed the scalp fully down here, and I closed about 50% of the, I think it was 50 or 60% of the day trade down there. Made over $2,000, so it was a good trade. So what's next? What is next? Let's zoom back out. Let us zoom back out. Oh, John, I've got it. I've sent you USDT lots of times before. Not putting your business out there, but but go ahead and resend me your USDT wallet address. And the reason, if I've seen you guys USDT in the past and I ask again, is because sometimes it changes. You may have a different wallet, you may be on a different exchange, whatever the case may be. And plus, I just want to make sure I got it right. So send me your USDT wallet address and I will send you 100 USDT for the ravishing one. All right, guys, so we're moving up. You see, let me get rid of, I'll leave the boxes on there for now. We have the next dang red box sitting up at about 83K, really 83.4-ish, all the way up to about 84.5. Somewhere in there is kind of what I'm looking for. You have a CME gap up there. And you can see these lows. Let's just look at these lows, right about there. You have these lows where you came down when we were in this range prior, near all-time high. You come down, you bounce, you kind of front run it there, but you bounce. You even come here and get a little bounce there before heading down. This was a clear breakdown level before the big breakdown level here. But this is the level. So this is where we start there, CME gap in there. And it looks like the rest of the lows are about here, which is near the top of the box. We may even have a fib in there. Let me see. I can't remember. Yeah, that is the golden pocket also, okay? That is the golden pocket from all-time high to our 60K low, okay? So golden pocket in there. I will go heavy, guys, heavy if we get up in there, guys. I mean, like I have got on layaway right now, both of the kids, so I'm auctioning them off just to generate some funds so that I can go heavy if we come into this box right here. Even if it's not full on reversal, even if we go to all-time high, which, speaking of which, there's a poll in chat. Go ahead and hit that up for me. Even if we just continue on, I don't, and I can be wrong, okay? You should not just blindly bet the farm here. But I don't see a world in which we don't come gap fill, golden pocket, retest of the breakdown, and not at least get a decent profitable pullback, even if we continue up afterwards, okay? Now you could get full on reversal, right? Either way, what I don't see, I can see either one of these two scenarios happening. Either one. What I don't see is this. Just blasting on through without any reaction whatsoever here. I don't see it. So irregardless, I'm expecting a trade at this level for some sort of reaction and profit. I will take at least 2 trades there. At least 2 trades. I will take a day trade and a scalp trade. Scalp trade, you know how I like to do it, guys. Not everybody does it this way, but I do. If I have a big level like this that I anticipate a good trade, I will take a scalp short trade, that I will come up into, and I'll enter my scalp and day trade separately right here. A lot of people do it differently, and that's okay. And on my scalp trade, I'm almost guaranteed, not guaranteed, but almost guaranteed profit because I'm looking for the divergences and I'm looking for a reaction, right? So I'm not entering that trade until I get that strong reaction, okay? So I will enter that. I will quickly take profit on the scalp. I will not take profit on the day trade. Quickly take profit on the scalp. I will try to take enough profit on the, so my stop loss will be the top of the box, right? So I'll try to take enough profit here that if price continues back up to here and I get stopped out on the day trade, my profit from the scalp covers the loss from the day trade. So it's the break even, okay? And once I take profit on the scalp, I will move stop loss to entry. Wherever I enter that scalp trade, I will not move stop loss on the day trade. I'll keep the stop loss on the day trade at the top of the box. Maybe even a little higher than the top of the box. I'd probably go somewhere up in there. But I run them both. So I will take profit here and I'll let the day trade keep running. At some point, I don't really know where yet, but at some point I'll take profit on the day trade and I'll close the scalp trade. Once I take profit on the day trade, I typically move stop loss to entry on the day trade, typically. Sometimes I'll leave it where it is. It depends on how close my original stop loss is to my entry. If it's pretty close, like if my original stop loss is here and I enter like right there, I might just leave it. Just in case we come wicket and head back down. Or sometimes I'll even trail a stop loss, just kind of, especially if we get way down here, I'll start to trail a stop loss. Or we could just turn around here, guys. So speaking of that, we have, I put a new level on the chart here, this dotted orange line, and I drew a key by it, okay? I posted this in Discord earlier, key level, dotted orange line. I got the key right here. That key should be on the orange line. I got it a little below, but it's really for the orange line. Let me turn this fib off. Somebody's gonna be confused. All right, this key level, I have it about 79.5, between 79.4, 79.5. It's called 79.4. Let me see. I'm gonna show you what that is. If we get acceptance, all right, so you can see here, where we had several days in a row, we found that a strong resistance, right? And then here, resistance, resistance, and resistance. 3 more days here, resistance, okay? Rejection, 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 rejection. And then blast off through it, guys. If we can get back below that level and close it on the daily closing basis, that's at 79,000, let's call it $400. Daily closing below that, guys, I'm expecting a rotation down to at least this 73K area, okay? That does not mean, I know a lot of you are going to be like, oh, we closed the day, the next day we're down here. That doesn't mean that, can we? Sure we can, but it doesn't mean that. I mean, you could take your time here. You could come and close the candle here, bounce, bounce, bounce. I don't know how quickly it'll get down there. I just would expect a rotation back down to here, grab some of this liquidity. But the key would be closing below 79.4, okay? I have this white line on the chart, and we're going to go a little more into this. This white line on the chart at $80,500. This is when we initially fell from all-time high. Our first kind of really good bounce came from $80,500. We bounced up to 98K. So big bounce there all the way up to 98K before coming down. When we broke this level, we never back tested it, okay? We just kind of knifed right through it. And then yesterday, we back tested it, right? Back tested it here, wicked above it, came back, closed below it. So it held as resistance yesterday, but today it has blasted through it, okay? So this is a key level. If we can confirm a daily closure above this level, I absolutely would expect this 83, 84K level, if not higher. But this would be the first area that I would look for a pullback or reversal or rejection from. But if we can come back below 80,500 and close the daily below 80,500, then I think we're going to take a run at this key level probably tomorrow. So 2 steps here. You want to see 80,500, then 79,400. So a little $1,000 zone. I think there could be a fight there for that $1,000 zone if we come back below it. I think you could see a little fight here. between the bears and bulls. The bulls need higher to break out. The bears need lower to break down. So even though you've not had much volume, so this is really going out on a limb. The volume does not suggest, or the previous price action of the volume does not suggest that you would have a fight there. It doesn't even look like an important level. I mean, look, you blast through, I mean, nothing. There's nothing here. There's nothing. But it's such a key level. This is the key to the upside. This is the key to the downside. So it wouldn't surprise me to see like this, come in like this before you choose a direction, right? Guys, give me 1 second. I am sorry. I'll be right back. Someone is at the door.
Cut the music.
All right, we are back. Thank you, Rick. I appreciate that. We are back. I hope you guys are still with me. So anyway, we're talking about the struggle. I think there could be a struggle for this level. We got to get back below it, guys. If we cannot get back below $80,500, you can bank on 84 being your next stop, okay? And I really think, I don't know that I would front run this, but I really think if we can close the daily below 80,500, then it is a foregone conclusion that we will make our way back down to 73K. Okay, the confirmation would be below a daily closure below 79.4 for me though, okay? Any questions about this and why we have these levels marked out? It's important that you understand them. You want to fill that CME gap? Yeah. Somebody was at the dough, guys. We had, and Edge was going crazy. I don't know if y'all can hear him. Uh-oh, I thought I moved this box. I'm trying to move this box. If I don't move the box, sometimes people get confused. I leave the box. I leave the level where it was, but I slide it over to let you know it's no longer active. But I always leave these to track how accurate we were and things like that. See, they're still on the charts. I keep them on the charts. I just moved it. In fact, let's file these away in the former trade box. There they go. They're still there, but they're gone. All right, any questions so far, guys? Just see the video we posted yesterday of the homestead? Guys got a little sneak peek into our home. Take a look real quick. There it is. We don't have to watch the whole thing. That's our homestead. Little pink house, guys. Like Mellencamp saying about pink houses. Uh-oh, beware of dog. Y'all know he's vicious. He keeps jumping on me right here. You see the camera start to kind of jerk a couple times. He was jumping on me. 1, 2. I had to kick him. It's true, I did. It was a love kick, though, guys. It was a love kick. We call it a love kick. Anyway, y'all see the house. We're not going to go through all this. I'm trying to fast forward to the office. There's my Hummer. Jane's car, y'all. I'll show you where the crypto magic happens. In our 20 acres where we hunt deer, raise chickens and grow crops and do all that kind of good stuff. This is where the crypto magic happens, guys. This is where I'm sitting right now, actually. Right now. Sitting right there. The pink house suits me, Salt Chain says. Yeah, I agree. The pink house suits me. And then we spend time out here on the big porch on the swing sometimes. Right under the Old Glory. Red, white, and the blue. Anyway, that's our home, guys. That's where we live. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for being a part of our home. So Bitcoin, we had this trend line. We've been in this trend line, really this rising channel, whatever you call it. We've been in it since early February, and we've rejected it several times from the top of the channel. And we are currently trying to break it. Again, none of this matters. You could wick this. Guys, this whole day could wind up red. You could wind up way down here. But as of now, you're trying to break through it. I will caution you. Here comes a flashbang, guys. I will caution you. So Monday and Tuesday, well, Monday, Asia and UK were both closed. Tuesday, today, UK was open this morning, but the Asia is still closed, okay? China opens up this evening. However, China is only part of the major market that is Asia, okay? It's the largest, granted, but Japan is still closed today. So all of Asia will not be open until tomorrow night, okay? So, however, China is still a really big market. It will be interesting, okay? I'm not saying we're not going to 84K, guys. It looks like we are. We've been calling for 84K. Go back and look at the thumbnails for about a week and a half now. However, there's been a whole lot of pumpage in the last few days without China. And they just may have something to say about that because they don't like when the boat goes without them. You know, the boat takes off without China, they tend to bring the boat back. And depending, you can bring it back up after that, continue on your merry way, or depending on how much damage is done and liquidity spikes to the downside, you could rip on down. So just don't be surprised if Japan was open tonight too. I would heavily be looking to short right now, because you'd have the full Asia market. But China is strong enough, guys. Don't be surprised to see this thing roll over tonight. Do not be surprised. I'm telling you. It's the same thing when you see, if you see China dump the market in the night, you know what happens? A U.S. Open. We expect the U.S. is coming to get that liquidity, right? China's the same way, guys. So they've been sitting on the sidelines watching this price action for a few days now. Just don't be surprised. Okay, I'm going to show you something kind of interesting now. I haven't shown before. Let me switch charts. I'm going to go to the Bitstamp charts. Weekly time frame. Okay, so here, now there's only three examples of this in the past, okay? There's been a lot of FOMC federal chair passing of the torches. But only 3 times have there been swear-in ceremonies for FOMC chairs during the life of Bitcoin, because Bitcoin hasn't been around that long. So every 4 years there's a new chair. A chair can technically stay in for 8 years. Jerome was in for 8 years, so it can happen. But there's been 3 different chair office, I guess, ceremonies, swear-ins, inauguration, whatever. So here they are. In February of 2014, it was when Janet Yellen was sworn in, okay? During the first week of her taking office was a 24% dump that week. Okay, over the next month, Bitcoin dumped 51%. Okay, in February of 2018 is when Jerome Powell was sworn in. February 2018, his first week was a 26% dump, and the first month was a 20% dump, which means Bitcoin recovered a little bit, about a 6% move to the upside. So the big dump was in the first week. Okay. In May of 2022, Jerome stayed in office, okay, but you didn't really know that because it could be voted on. So at the time it was announced and that he officially retained office. So just like if the president were to be reelected, you have a president for 4 years and you reelect him, there's still a term, a time, a day where that inauguration takes place and he reconfirms his oath and blah, blah, blah. Same thing, okay? That first week was a 7% dump, and the first month was 42%. So again, there's only 3 iterations of this, so it's not something you want to bet the farm on, but it's just interesting. And the new chair, FOMC chair, will be sworn in 10 days on May 15th. I can't remember his name. May 15th. That is 10 days, so I don't even know what day of the week that is. That is on a Friday. What day was... Let's see. May of 2022. So he's being sworn in on a Friday. Interesting. Let's see what this was. February 5th of 2018. Monday. Interesting. These others are on Monday. So interesting. So I guess it would be not next week, but the week after would be considered his first full week. So we'll be interested in 2 weeks. So a week and a half from now to see what happens. If we get the big dump, we have every single time before a minimum of 7%. The other two, an average of 25%. With an average of about 25%, probably more than that. Let's see, 70, 110, about 35% average coming over the next month. So we'll see some things indicating, at least this indicating Bitcoin might be getting a little toppy. Let's take a look at something else. These are the macro support and resistance flips that we were talking about earlier. You can see how important they are over the history of Bitcoin. And I just went back a little bit. You can go back to full history and find this to be true. You can see them here. I can even put one right here. What did I do? All right, so when you have these big macro moves, right? These big pivot points, we'll call them, right? You got this pivot point here where you found rejection, move down, found rejection, move down, found rejection. When you finally break it, you come back and you back test it as support and boom, off to the races, right? All right, let's fast forward here. So we're in 2022 now. You come down from the all-time high in 2021. You find this bounce area. Boom, big bounce. You break through. You come back, you back test it, that is big move down, right? Well, when you had the first bounce, I guess this would be the second bounce here, You set this low. So when you broke through it, what happened? You come back, you back test it, boom, rejection down, okay? This is the one I have highlighted in the circle. You set a low, you bounce. When you break through that low, you eventually come back and back test it, big move down, rejection, okay? Kind of the same as here, but inverse, right? Right? See what I'm saying? All right. And then when you finally are able to break it, a couple times later when you come through it, what happens? You come back and you back test it as support, twice actually, but you hold it. And then you can lift off from there. So let's fast forward here. You come over, we're in the bull run. You eventually come up and you kind of top out, at least locally. Get a little pullback, get a big pullback actually. That's not a little pullback, that is a big pullback. 49K to 38K is a 25% pullback. But then you continue up and you come down and you eventually back test it as support and then up and away, right? Right? You follow me? Same thing here. When you had your next top, you set a top, pull back. When you break it, you eventually come back and back test it before bouncing, blah, blah, blah. You can go on and on. All right, so when we started this descent down, right? You came down from all-time high, you came down to 80.5K or so, bounce. Okay, back test this support, right? Break down from there, and then you fall through. You knife through this 80.5K, bounce, and now we're at our first back test of this breakdown here. We have not back tested, okay? So it's just like all these others, you're back testing the level, right? You're back testing the breakdown. Well, it was the bounce, and now the breakdown, you're back testing it. Resistance down, same thing here. You had the bounce level, you knife through it, you back test it, resistance down. Okay, we're here, guys. We're testing it. And this is why I tell you this level is so important. You move down, you bounce, you knife through it, back test. Now, that doesn't mean you can't wick it. You wicked it on several of these back here. You wick through it. But the important, and I'm on the weekly time frame. So the important thing here is on the weekly time frame, we want to close below this level. We have to close below this level if you want any type of shot at lower prices on Bitcoin. We have to close the weekly. Hear me, guys. We have to close the weekly below this level. If you don't, then you risk a full-blown breakout, right? Anytime you close the weekly back above, breakouts, right? Weekly back above, breakouts, right? Here, you came to it, rejected, weekly close above it, breakouts. Same thing here. You come to it, you reject, close the weekly, breakouts. We've got to have the weekly close below it. So this is going to be a massive weekly close. You need the weekly close to be below around $80,500. So be watching that level, guys. All right. Questions. I will take your questions. Anybody dabbling? Got the stuttering Elmer Fudd thing going. Hey, I kind of look like Elmer Fudd. Anybody take any of these trades? I gave you guys the WorldCoin trade. I gave you the WorldCoin trade. I bought WorldCoin right here, literally at the bottom. I told you guys I'd bought 362,000 WorldCoin. And since I posted it in Discord, since that time, WorldCoin is up almost 6%. I sold my WorldCoin this morning, made about $5,000 profit. It was an $82,000 buy order for 362,000 coins. Sold, made about a little over 5K. Salt Chain took the WorldCoin trade. Good. That's where it's at, guys. You guys are missing out if you're not spot accumulating alts. I've showed this over the last few videos. I started out spot accumulating alts, 78,000 WorldCoin. I now have, well, I sold them, but I just had 362,000, which is almost a 5x on my initial investment in WorldCoin in 1 year. It is more than a 2x since I started giving these trades to you in Discord on February the 1st. Joe is short on Bitcoin from 80,900. Oh, wow. Let's go. I don't know what I did. Let me refresh. Let's go take a look at Joe's short. As of now, we still have, I told you guys I didn't like this yesterday, I told you, but as of now, we still have daily bearish divergence. Let me redo that. That was really ugly. Still have a triple drive of daily bearish divergence. Unconfirmed. As of now. This could mitigate. If price keeps pushing up and momentum wave keeps pushing up, then you would have higher high in prices and higher high in momentum. But as of now, you do have daily bear divs, but they are unconfirmed. If you get down, I don't know, bro. If you get down below 80,500, if it were me, I'm not short. I got stopped out. And I'm still looking. If it were me, so this is going to be kind of not how I usually trade. For me to enter another trade, I would have to get here. And I'm not saying your trade is bad. It could be very good. You are short from here. For me to get in another trade, I'm going to have to see price close the day below 80,500. So if it were me, Joe, I'm not financial advice, but you might want to take the break even if you get back, or you might want to see if you can close the day below 80,500. I think if you close the day below 80,500, you're in a really good trade. Maybe not the best entry, obviously, but I still think you're in a really good, profitable trade. So I would probably let it ride. There's liquidity up above, bro, but there is 10 times more liquidity below. So there is liquidity above. Everything's going to hinge on this daily close, man. Everything. You should have an alert set on 80,500. In fact, it may not even be a bad idea. Joe, I'll be entering a trade. If we close a day below 80,500, I will most likely be entering another trade. So like right there-ish. It might not be, I don't want to guide you wrong, bro, but it may not be. All right, let's look at it this way. For me, if you close below 80,500, you're almost guaranteed a $1,000 move here, right? If nothing else. You might come here and bounce and rip, okay? I don't know. But I don't think you stop anywhere in between here. I think you at least come retest this breakout area. And if you lose this, 73K, okay? So for me, I don't know. I'm a little more risk taker. The correct play for me, for my playbook, the correct play, let me mark out your short. And this is going to sound dumb. I might would take a break even if you got here. Break even. And then enter a trade, a short trade lower. I understand that's logic doesn't make sense. But here, to me, you're confirming a move down. And here, you're not. You could come down, back test, and bounce. I know. So at least you would have that opportunity. Okay, I break even, and then it comes down. You're like, I should have stayed in the trade. But if you bounce, you're like, okay, glad I broke even. And if it continues and you close the daily below, then you re-enter your short on a higher probability trade. You've now broken through this, right? You remember this level here, you've now broken through it, but it is a failed auction. You swing failure pattern at. Now you have a high probability SFP trade likely to rotate to the downside, because you will have then confirmed this on a daily closing basis as resistance. Really, it matters on a weekly closing basis like we just showed. The macro support and resistance flips matters on a weekly closing basis, but as far as an intraday trade, you will have confirmed this as resistance and likely to move down. It starts here at 80,500. That's probably how I would play it. I know it would suck to lose this $400 worth of profit, but this is low probability. This is high probability. So it just depends on how you want to play it, how much risk you want to take. Or you could watch it. I do think if you come back down 80,900, I do absolutely think you're fixing to retest 80,500. So you could look to close the trade there, or trail a stop would probably be the way to go. Don't just close the trade to break even. Trail a stop loss to 80,500. Then if you bounce and get stopped, okay, you've at least made a little something. And if you come back up and then come down, then you can re-enter. I'll be re-entering a trade at a daily close below 80,500. That's all I'm gonna say. So how you handle this, that's on you. I would let it ride. If you broke below it, I would let it ride, knowing that we're probably fixing to come back test 80.5. I would let it ride, and I would watch it. And if we got the good bounce, something like, probably 80.6, 80.7, I would then close it in profit and not just take a break even. Because I 100% think if you break this, break your entry, that you are coming to 80.5 to back test this. So at least you grab a little bit of profit. That's how I would play it. And then if you confirm the daily break below 80.5, I just let it ride. Stop loss to entry. And at that point, not that you need me, but at that point, you will know that I'm in the trade, and I will be telling you I just TP1, I just TP2, or whatever it is. And so you can then kind of manage your trade accordingly. I've been scalping the hell out of copy. You guys see that? I think we're like 20-something wins in a row. I think they hit me with a little loss. I didn't even go check. I was so mad. They hit me with a lag and the freaking VPN lag. We were up like 1%, and I clicked it, and next thing it was like, boom. And we're down like 0.1% or something. And like the 2 seconds it took for the lag to close our trade. Whatever. We still won 20 plus in a row. Good. I'm glad that makes sense, brother. All right, guys. Any more questions before I get out of here? You know what we're looking for. You know the levels. Let me remove the Joe level here. These are our two levels. I'm even going to clone this. 80.5. There's our two levels, key levels, guys. Let me reiterate. The first key at 80.5, you want a weekly close below there. If you weekly close above that, expect sustained higher prices, okay? Expect a real breakout. As of now, this whole thing is nothing more than a bounce back test of the breakdown, right? As of now. I know it looks impressive, but as of now, this is what happens every time. We just showed that before you rotate down, okay? As of now. However, every time before, a confirmed weekly closure above this has been a real, legit breakout. So the key to watch on Sunday's close is going to be 80.5K. Okay? The more local breakout here has been 79.4, 79.5, depending on your exchange. Call it 79.4 to be safe. The more local breakout has been 79.4. So you've got this area where you could see a fight. Close above, expect upside. Close below, expect downside. Somewhere in the middle, sit back and wait for the market to show its hand. Don't try to guess here because you will be wrong or you will be right. But either way it goes, you're wrong because that is not how the game is played. You sit back and wait. Do we confirm back into the range or do we confirm a macro breakout? Wait for it. Neither are confirmed right now. And keep in mind, guys, keep in mind, you see all this upside. This is all United States uptrend. Liquidity, people are getting liquidated. Freaking everybody is shorting every little pump. All that. But keep in mind that Asia has been closed. And they will open tonight. And do not be surprised to see them come grab some of this liquidity that has been left behind to the downside. Guys, a lot of people, I looked at it earlier, order flow earlier, a lot of people longed this breakout. A lot. I think it was 81.3, somewhere in here. This candle right here, I'll show you this candle right here, I think. A lot of people longed this breakout right here. Now, I have to go look. Order flow, they may have gotten wiped out, but a lot of people longed this. If you can come back down here, you could trap these people and you could short squeeze really quick to the downside. They may have grabbed most of them. I have to go look and see if those closed out. I'm not going to pull up my market monkey right now because I got to go. Jane is leaving. She's headed into Jackson. She's got to go back to the hospital. Y'all know about her kidney stuff. So headed back in there. So she's literally fixing to walk out the door. So I got to go tell mama bye. All right, guys. I will be available in Discord the rest of the day if you need me. I have alerts set. Your keys are 80,579.4. You can't long this. You cannot long this. Okay. So your only choice is to look for a back test of one of these long if you want to continue, which I would not. One of these, or close below one of these on a daily basis, and is game on to the downside, in my opinion. Watch for Asia tonight. I'm telling you guys, watch for Asia. Keep in mind, Japan is still closed, though, but watch for Asia. All right, guys, I got to go. The Lord loves you guys. It's a beautiful day. Thank the Lord for all he does for us. We're breathing. We're here. I love you guys. Joe, you're my man. I will keep you updated if I see something. Let me know how that trade goes or if you have any questions, but I'm going to watch it. I think you're okay right now. I think you're okay. Look, one more thing. Let's look at the monthly time frame. We've been showing this. I just want to show an update. We're right where we should be for a turnaround. Okay, we're right where we should be. We're in the target box, historically speaking, for your average move to the upside before a rotation down. So this is exactly what should have happened this month. I mean, this was put on here on the 30th, April 30th. We expected this. I was leaning more towards a move to the downside first, but that didn't happen. But it doesn't mean the stats are wrong. They moved to the upside, and this is the exact area that we expected to get hit before rotating down. So, not financial advice, but you are making a major mistake if you try to long here. Even if it plays out for you, you are making a terrible trading decision. So, you do that too many times, and you will have nothing left. All right, guys. Love you guys. I got to run. I will see you